Hello there. This is a pick a stone reading for what April, the month of April, has in store for you. This is overall energy, so whichever stone, maybe multiple, you are attracted to or gravitated to, that may be your message. We have number 1 here, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Timestamps are below, and you guys please remember to only take what resonates, leave anything that does not. If something is fear-based or confusing, please reject it, throw it away. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with group 1. Hello and welcome, stone 1. Hope you guys are doing well and in high spirits. Okay, so the month of April for you, there could be a bit of a focus on your dreams, your dream world. Especially like when you're sleeping, these kind of dreams that you're having, messages, communication that's coming through, perhaps from a passed on loved one, maybe a feminine energy even, just to focus on what messages are coming through in your dream world, a big focus there. Pay attention to that, symbolism to animals, people, things that happen and show up. There may be a reason for that. There may be something in that for you, okay? All right. There could also be, for some of you, if you're like an artist or creating, you may find it beneficial to channel some of your dreams into what you create. This may be something that is very powerful for you, okay? It's interesting, this stone looks more white than blue than usual. The sunlight may be very renewing for you if you're able to get into the sunlight. This may renew your energy and make you feel even like detoxified or cleansed quite a bit. It may give you a fresh perspective and clear out some of your energy, okay, in a positive way. So, sunlight's always a positive thing for the most part, but especially here. Okay, so stone 1, what is the overall energy in April? What is the overall energy in April? Okay, so we've got an energy of divine waiting here, transmutations of energies, giving and receiving. There could especially be a focus on receiving more than you're used to receiving or more than usual, okay? Something could come in very fast, a gift, a windfall, some kind of money or a gift, again, something that is an energy stream that comes your way. This could come in quite quickly in April. This may have been something that you've been cultivating, manifesting, or working on already in the past. So it's like it kind of starts to come through in April. There's a real energy of abundance here. In the past, we see a defeat, really hard challenge, a failure, some kind of an ending, even a breakup, something that you could have given up on or felt was over. In April here, you could still be dealing with trying to move out of this energy and not to focus on the past emotionally, to try to come out of focusing on what's happened and to be more present with what is. This could be a focus for you in April. Although I think your dreams may process a lot of what has happened for you in a way. You can always program your dreams, set intentions to find solutions or clarity in your dream state, okay? Here this is also, again, information coming through in your dream world. We also have just higher knowledge coming in general that helps you to unlock things in your life and in your world, okay? We do see 2 parts of yourself here, or you could be dealing with somebody else. I'm also seeing 2 dads here, 2 dads like that are married or together or something like this. It's very interesting. Okay, emotions could be, in April, I feel emotions could be a little, especially for the first part, but they could feel a little short. your temper or your patience or your maturity when it comes to your emotional state of being. Yeah, you could feel a little temperamental about the past, okay? So I don't feel like you're fixating on the past that much in like a very weak or vulnerable way that you would interpret it as weak. It's never weak, but the way that you may interpret it as such. But I do feel that some anger comes up for you around things that have happened, and even things that you can't control, or things that have just been really frustrating in a way. You could be in a more, like a less compassionate space and a more upset space about what's going on here, whatever this hurt, challenge, pain, defeat was here. So there would be a recommendation to release your anger either creatively or in physical exercise, maybe like punch it out, run it out, something like this, wherever you can, okay? Because there is healing available to you. There is a lot of really strong energy available to you, but I feel like you're channeling in April a lot of it into this past, okay? Why is the Empress in reverse? I feel like this is you not feeling in your compassionate, like expanded kind of energy. And this really could be around a person, around a relationship or something that you've built here. We see that you're not super happy with something that you've built. You've got anxieties, fears, overthinking something. I feel like the word fresh approach comes into mind. At some point, it's like you're going to want to focus in on a fresh approach. I mean, that's something else that you can, again, program into your sleep. Like, let's say that you want to find more satisfaction in your job, or you want to find more peace in your heart. You can always write that on a message and put it under your pillow when you sleep, or write it on a little paper and put it under your pillow for the night. I like to do one at a time usually, even two at a time, but just one at a time. I'll just say, sometimes I write it out like I already have this. So like I'm like peaceful heart, just simple. And I put it under my pillow. Maybe also like, or open heart even. Or like if I want peace, to feel or experience peace, I will also sometimes put it on a water jar or bottle, where I'll meditate on the energy of peace into water. But you can charge up your water, charge up your dream. You can set the intention before you sleep in any way that you want. But these can be really helpful for you to utilize this really strong dream and sleep state in April, to kind of help you to navigate this energy, okay? Not to avoid it or escape it, but just to navigate it. Also, if you're having nightmares in April or having really intense dreams, these are messengers and messages. They really are. So as challenging as they can be, there may really be messages in them. Sometimes just Googling the messages and seeing what sticks out to you when you look things up, like what really sticks out to you, can help. I always like to I cancel, clear, reject for any infos that I read that don't resonate, something fear-based, especially like, oh, this means that somebody's cheating on you or something, or like this means that you're going to be poor. Like, I'm just like, nah, I reject that, because that's not the point. I'm looking for information to help me understand what the message is. And I know that my body's not giving me, or my subconscious isn't giving me a message of like, you suck. It's giving me a message of like, hey, listen, we need you. Like, listen up, here's where we need you, So looking for those messages that really resonate and not accepting the ones that don't can be really helpful. Okay, why is this here? I feel like in the past something really was hurtful. And it's normal that you would be angry about it. You could have thought you were going to have a new beginning, but somebody wasn't being honest, or they were being manipulative, or just somebody wasn't being cool. That's why this hurt happened. It could even be like a coworker or somebody you work with. It could be anybody, honestly. It could be a friend, a family member. It could be a relationship. It could even be a part of yourself. But either way, it's been frustrating, and you feel like somebody got away without any consequences in something, it seems, for some of you. And in April, there is definitely a focus on this. Anything else going on in April for this person they should know about, please and thank you. Okay, that's all that they want to point out right now. Let's get some advice. Some advice for how to kind of deal with this here. Any advice for this group in April, please and thank you. Okay, it's really going to be super important for you in April, dealing with these situations, dealing with your dreams, to listen to what is being said, because there are a lot of emotional truths, emotional realities that need to be seen, that need to be uncovered. Watch information about the way emotions work if you want, especially in a spiritual sense, stuff that resonates with you. There's a great documentary that we recommend sometimes on Gaia, actually many, and YouTube and many different places about your emotions. Even Teal Swan has some great information on the emotions and the way they work. It just depends on who resonates with you. But here, this is all about clarifying what it is you're feeling. And it doesn't mean it has to be perfect or you have to obsess on this. But the more clear you get with your own emotions and your own emotional world, the more clear the world outside of you becomes as well, okay? So get clear with what you want, with what you're feeling, even if it's negative or bad, even if you have to use words that you don't like to use. Like maybe you don't like to use the word that you hate something, or that you're bored with something, or that you are, depressed. Maybe these are words that you don't appreciate, but maybe they're the words that are fitting something that you're feeling. You're angry, you're pissed, maybe just saying like, I am so angry about this, I feel this about this, and this is just, it makes me feel crazy, like there's a fire and burning in me, and I just don't know how to get it out, and I hate that this person did this. It felt like this, like just talking about this, writing about this, just letting these emotions out can be super duper helpful to clarify things. And it's going to make a lot more room for clarity, and it's going to make more room for you to also recognize, what is working, what you are grateful for. Sometimes it's hard to find like what you're grateful for or these things when we're holding on to a bunch of stuff that's painful or hurts, because it's like it makes the gratitude feel shallow or not real, because it's like we need to first acknowledge all the other stuff that's happening here. So other advice would be not to wait on somebody or something, okay? Not to wait on a passion or on something because you feel, it doesn't mean to force yourself ahead, but maybe because you feel like, let me get more information about this, but maybe you feel that you have to wait on somebody for something here, or even wait to take a trip, or wait to travel, or wait to create something, or wait to take some kind of action that you've been wanting to take because you feel like, no, I'm not in the right place right now or something. But if you feel inspired to take some kind of action at all, just take it. Just take it. This isn't about being logical right now. This is not even about being smart, quote unquote. It's about living, listening to those intuitions and those hits and those passions. This is also a part of these kind of dreams that are coming in, and emotions and alignments here. Any other advice for this person, please and thank you, in April? Any other advice? How to navigate all of this energy in April? Please and thank you. Go easy on yourself would be a message here. Don't worry about having everything perfectly in balance or perfectly figured out of where to move next or how to make movement next. But maybe slowly, surely, on your own pace, start to think about or cultivate little plans of how to move ahead, of how to make the movement that you want to make. There is something about following your own intuition over logic here, your passions over logic here in April, to really listen to that. And with death in reverse, it feels like something isn't ended yet. It's not over yet in a way. It also feels like taking it easy on yourself in a way that you don't have to make transition all at once. And also to let you know that stuff doesn't have to always end tragically or be super devastating. That you don't have to constantly be in a state of, well, we are constantly in a state of death and rebirth in many ways. I mean, even the cells in our body, but it doesn't have to constantly feel like this big, huge thing that's going on all the time. Yeah, exactly this. Tower in reverse. This is like a restabilizing type of energy. Six of Cups, also a healing that's happening, especially connected to giving and receiving. Okay? Of course, connected to childhood, it often is, because it's the premise of how we've grown. But yeah, relationships, childhood relationships. Again, just focusing on the love, on the compassion, on the acceptance of your emotions is a really important part of clarifying your emotions. Because of course your emotions will hide a bit from you if you reject them or judge them too harshly. You know, it's important to accept them with love the best you can, as if they were a little child coming to you and saying, ow, I hurt my knee. Like, you're not going to get mad that this, hopefully not get mad that this kid hit their knee, you know. And if you do get mad that they did, that's another thing to look at. Why am I angry that this part of myself is in pain, you know? What does it mean to me? Am I programmed to think that it's weak to be in pain this way, or to talk about it? Am I programmed to think that my feelings aren't valid, or that I make too much of them? You know, like, what is it that's there? But overall, April, there's a restabilizing energy going on. You might have anger and different things to deal with, but there is some kind of restabilizing. I don't see a massive ending or like a massive transition. It's just really important to focus on that emotional world the best that you can, and bring a lot of love and compassion into it, okay? You don't need to make rapid movement or make everything perfect, okay? And you don't have to have everything perfectly planned. And you also don't have to wait on, like, you know, doing an art project or creating something, or, you know, just starting to, you know, take a day trip or whatever you want to do. You don't have to wait on these things, okay? You also may want to ask for help with your emotions, like just even to talk to a trusted friend, or maybe like a therapist, or just somebody that you can trust in a way. With the Nine of Cups in reverse there, it's like you don't have to do this all alone. You have help, okay? You may be a little confused about what your intuition is saying as well in April at times, because you're uncovering new territory in your emotional world. That's normal. This is part of the process of bringing things out that have been a bit hidden, okay? And again, there is some kind of a new start on the way that's very passionate. It's very fiery. It's exciting, honestly, but you don't have to rush this, okay? It's just like a step-by-step thing. You know, it's even acting on inspirations when they come without the expectation of what it means in the end or in the long run, right? There is one more thing. I'm not going to read the book this time, I don't think, but I was going to just do one of the Hero's Journey Dream Oracle cards, because you guys are so focused on dreams in this reading. And this is a Dream Oracle. So is there any other message for this person in April? Please and thank you. Any other message for this person in April? Please and thank you. Okay, nice. 44, which is definitely a feeling of quantum shifting from one reality to another, but in a subtle way. Eyes on the prize. Trust the guidance of your North Star. maybe quite literally, okay? Again, your passions, your desires, your hopes. Not desires as if I want that and I don't have it, but desires as in like, I really want to create at this level or do this thing at this level. I really want to experience this. Maybe you want to sing or paint, you know, or maybe you want to start something new or design fashion or travel, you know, missionary work. Like it's just, there's so many different things here. There's a quote here. I'm sure a lot of you have had this experience where you're growing as a person and people tend to treat you like you were 18 months ago. Yeah. And it's really frustrating sometimes when you're growing up and becoming more capable. It is the same with a company and the same with the press. The press is going to have a lag time. The best thing we can do about the press is to embrace them, keep our eye on the prize, and the press and the stock price will take care of themselves. That's actually a quote by Steve Jobs, but this concept here, you have a really strong ancestor or spirit energy as well, helping you, guiding you around you, kind of pulling you forwards. But it's like kind of ignoring, not even ignoring, but just not giving a lot of, I don't know why I hear clout or a lot of attention to the people who still view you in whatever, if it's unstable place or as this kind of type of person or whatever. It's just doing your thing. So, yeah. So this is some kind of a weave between who you used to be and who you are becoming. You don't have to know exactly how this process will unfold from here on out. Exactly. Your only job is to keep your eye on the prize and follow your North Star. At this moment, your North Star is hanging directly over the place where you started this journey. This says to consider George Bailey in the movie It's a Wonderful Life. I haven't seen it. Once he completes his life review and has the epiphany that everyone will not be better off without him, he runs back to Bedford Falls in his home in time to hug and kiss his family and hang the Christmas star on the tree. He is in the same place as he started, but is changed and willing to participate in life from a whole new perspective. So there's that new perspective thing coming in. So if you dream of a star, this can symbolize that you are being guided from on high. This dream is a message that things are looking up for you in order to become the star of your own life. It's important for you to remember Einstein's word that you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. In other words, look up, seek a higher point of view, and let your higher guidance system lead the way. Exactly. And that's part of the clearing with the emotions and everything. It gives you the room, it gives you the space to see another perspective, you know, because we got to clear that stuff out sometimes, and that's so that we can shift all of our mental furniture around and everything. All right, beautiful. So you guys, that's what we have for you. You can always email FrequencyOfTheHeart@gmail.com for personal reading inquiries, but until then, we wish you a happy April. Take care. Hello and welcome, Stone 2. Hope you guys are doing well in high spirits. Thanks so much for being here. Just straighten that. So you guys picked citrine, beautiful stone here. Very much a very high vibrational, happy stone. Has a lot of good, positive vibrations, happiness that comes with it, as well as a lot of wealth and abundance kind of energy. Citrine is known to attract wealth, to attract abundance of wealth. And positive energy. It never needs to be cleansed or cleaned. It's very resilient in that way. And it's kind of like the light of the sun in some ways, okay? So a lot of Leo energy as well with this, which ruled by the sun, of course, so it makes sense. So in April, you could be feeling kind of like the freshness of spring, bringing happiness with it of some kind. You could be feeling clarity of thought and focus. You could just be feeling like your vibration is untouchably high. That's really cool. And you could be seeing more prosperity, more money headed your way as well. Or you may benefit from even picking up a piece of citrine of your own and just putting it in your pocket or putting it around wherever it is that you make money or bring in your resources at, okay? So let's go ahead and see what's going on for you guys. Overall energy in the month of April. All right. So for stone 2, what's going on in April? Nice. What else is going on? So right away, kind of a feeling of shifting the way that we're doing something. perhaps when we're in a leadership role. A lot of fire energy coming through right away, Leo as well. Could be trying to get something managed or under control in a way that's more balanced, more in flow. You could be trying to free yourself from the burdens of being in a leadership position somehow. It's like I feel like you're trying to move from King of Wands energy into the energy of strength. They're very similar, actually, except the King of Wands is more like in control, sometimes a bit temperamental. And strength, I feel like it's more of a gentle harmony with the way that strength is controlling this. She also has a sense of renewal. She also seems very pagan type energy, very tuned into nature, into what's natural. She's more in tune with her monsters. There can be a bit of a suppression of, you know, the beast within or whatever, which isn't the best, but it is in this concept. It's like getting the temper or anger under control a bit, but in a way that is very strong, okay? In a way that is very peaceful, in a sense, in a way that's loving, rather than harsh or like over, you know, like a dictator kind of feeling here. It's a nice transition of energy, okay? With the Knight of Swords, I feel a lot of anger towards the past, or fighting with the past here, things that were said in the past. Even ideals or ideas that people have given or have been around from the past. There is a feeling of resistance to that, fighting that, and I still think that's why the strength is showing up here, because it's like we're trying to get a grip on it. So in April, you really could see yourself trying to have a new approach to these frustrations or these resistances that we face towards the past. And trying to maybe understand more of this in yourself rather than trying to understand it in another or in others. What else is happening in April for this group? Please and thank you. Overall energy, the month of April for this group. What's going on? Nice. Part of the reason that we could be fighting with stuff in the past or feeling resistance to it is because it somehow interfered with our truth or with what we love to do, what we want to do in life and accomplish and achieve. Aquarius energy with a star. However, if it's not exactly like this for you, seeing the star in April is super strong. For one, being Aquarian energy, it does talk about things being brought to light. We also see you in a more stripped down position here. We also see you dealing with a lot in the past, but starting to move into something more present. So in a way, we could be, I hear relinquishing, releasing things from the past, dreams from the past, and planting new ones, or transforming some of these. I feel like you are paying something to the earth or to spirit, or like paying gratitude, paying thanks, doing some kind of a earth ritual almost. It's really interesting. Even if it's like not literally an earth ritual, there's something here. There's some kind of a spiritual endeavor or a spiritual connection to the way you're working. Because here I notice there's a real pagan energy coming. And then here there's also very earth ritual energy. So there can be something really connected even into ancestors here for you in April, where you're able to kind of, and you have a spirit presence watching this, but where you're able to kind of reconnect or connect anew with dreams, truths, desires, to illuminate them, and to really plant that concept so that it may manifest and be born in a way, or be reborn for some of you, okay? Like a star is born. Interesting. Also, that song, A Sign of the Times, is in my head today, but it comes up specifically for your readings. That's interesting. Okay. Anything else in April for this person, please and thank you. Also, I'd like to say standardly, to see the star in April could talk about wish fulfillment for some of you. And this would be like, if you're getting some kind of wish fulfillment in April, try not to be too distracted by the past here, because you have the strength and the balance and the capacity to see this wish through, or to grab this wish when it comes, in a way, to take that opportunity. Nice. You might have some very strong emotional maturity coming through in the month of April, especially around a situation that's super selective or unfair, whether this is past or present or both. you're able to not give or pay too mind to that judgy, unfair, selective energy. This can also be that you weren't chosen, somebody else was, but you handle it like a pro and you understand that there's a better opportunity for you out there, okay, that's actually aligned to your wishes, to your dreams and desires. This can also be that you're in a lack energy, and then somebody comes in and they show you a very abundant energy. And for another, this is the feeling that you are, again, in a selective situation where things are unfair and scarce in a way, and you're being judged, or you're, even this could be like a work energy here, but somebody comes in who is very generous, very emotionally mature. Again, they're a healer of some kind. Even if they are like a businessman, they have this energy of being a healer, and they really follow their heart, and they're going to be like an inspiration to you. They're going to help you, perhaps even help you emotionally, maybe help you maybe even in your resources or something, because they are very generous. But I think they're going to show you a much more expansive and abundant way than this. And again, for some of you, this is you, coming into this energy here, this King of Cups energy. So very strong. King of Cups is typically a water sign, but here I feel that this could be anybody with that trait of being emotionally mature, very generous, very stable, very leadership type, okay? And I also feel that this is what you could be headed towards for some of you, especially with the King of Wands in the beginning on his side. It's like you're making a bit of a shift into this energy. And there's still parts of you or this person that may worry about the past or be a little suspect of it, like, but it's more because you know how now to draw boundaries. And as you could see as well, there's been a lot of healing that's had to be done from the past energy especially, but moving forwards, it's like a lot of this journey of healing and doing this, even though it's an ongoing lifestyle and process, it's going to transform more into you being able to just communicate your thing, to do your thing there. What else is going on in the month of April for this group? Please and thank you. Okay, this is some kind of a defeat or failure, and it could be around your dreams or this truth here. I do feel for some of you this is something that's already been in the past, and then it's like it's here, it's triggered, or you think about it in April, and that's part of why you're in this energy of kind of fighting things that were said or happened in the past. Because it's like this is a really raw spot or a really hurtful or painful energy or that's around, okay? Clarify this, please. Why is this here in April? If this is like you don't get the opportunity or you don't get the job, you get somebody else is chosen over you, please know that this King of Cups energy, beyond that failure, makes this an absolute win and success. It's so hard to realize that at the time when we really want something or somebody, but like whatever this is that you feel defeated about, this is a good thing that it happened. Even if, it's hard, we have to admit that it's hard, but it is a good thing ultimately that it happened because it's aligning you more to your true path, okay? You could be pulling out of a long-term investment in April because you just don't see how there's going to be a strong outcome. But then you also have this energy of like not accepting an opportunity here. There could be a stubbornness because of pain. So you're like, no, I don't see this as an opportunity. I feel kind of pessimistic about this. I wasn't chosen. Like it's kind of this energy. And then you miss in a way an opportunity to move towards love. What else do you have to say about this? Please and thank you. They say don't lie to yourself about how much you want something, okay? Also, I hear the word scoundrel. You're dealing with a scoundrel. Why is this here? Why is this here? Interesting. No matter if you do like not take an opportunity or pull out of something, it still leaves you very aligned to your path here I mean, of course, but it really leaves you aligned to the path that you need to be on, essentially. Somehow you may escape or just try to rest with something that you love or somebody that you love. You don't take this new passionate beginning of some kind here for some of you. You stop waiting on something, maybe even waiting on this old dream. You just stop. And what it is it comes out actually with a lot of clarity, healing, freedom. You could feel a massive relief letting something go here. It could bring a lot of happiness in for you. And as many things do, I mean, if you hear musicians even talk about how, like, I gave up, I finally let it go, and then that's when it happened. It's kind of this energy. It's like you let go of something in a way. You just say nah. But it allows you room for freedom and for many different things, a fresh kind of energy. And then you get a lot of this makes room for a lot of these downloads, this education or learning. Maybe you're learning something new to come in, and then bam, something comes back around from the past here. Maybe this dream, maybe even things that used to knock you off or down from family or whoever. And this brings a real truth up with it. I'm really noticing the Red Cross as well. There could be something about healing or medicine here. But I feel like this thing could come back when you least expect it in a way. And now it's like you've grown, you become a lot wiser, and you've learned some things in this process of letting go. And this can all be happening within April, but I feel some of this could also be projected a little past. And it's like now you're just trusting your heart, your creativity, and your intuition to move through all of the uncertainty and the unknown in a way that you were never fully able to before, when you were still holding and clinging to this concept of the way something had to be. So in April, you could find yourself essentially letting go of the idea of the outcome of something, how it has to look or how it has to be. Letting go of this dream or wish that you've had somehow, feeling kind of defeated about it, being closed off to other opportunities, and then finding yourself in an energy of rebirth, of feeling like clarity and freedom and happiness, and seeing like this blessing in disguise energy. And then all of a sudden something actually does come through for you. This is you being very independent, very emotionally self-reliant, and also kind of like having everything you need. I feel like this guy's got a lot of abundance around him. But your eyes are open. You're not in this kind of selfish energy or in an energy of just trying to cultivate the abundance around you. You're very much trying to cultivate happiness, and you're not as guarded or mistrusting or shut as you were before. So you're definitely going through something that's really strong here. Why is justice in reverse in April? You could be really listening a lot more to your passions and your happiness than logic. And this, in a way, is a bit out of balance, but I don't feel it's out of balance in a negative way. I feel like it's out of balance in a very positive way, because it's like maybe for a time you've been neglecting a bit your passions or not listening to them. So it's like now you're listening to them all at once or very strongly. And it's like, yeah, of course, of course. Something that you're building, working on, it very quickly makes movement. And why is the Three of Swords here in April? The Three of Swords is here because there's some resistance that you meet around hard work. For example, I'm not saying this is your story, but let's say your dream starts to come true. And you're like, holy crap, I let go of this, but now it's here, and like, bam. But like it still feels like a burden or hard work in some way or another, because usually they are in a way. And you're a bit disappointed by that because it doesn't feel as open as it did before. However, there is this feeling here with the threes of making sure that you are getting together with your friends or with good company, that you are celebrating the wins and really taking the time to have fun, taking the time to celebrate, and not just all work. That saying, like, all work, no play. it's like really important because you want to be in your Empress energy, in this energy of love, in this energy of I can do all of this, you know, and you want your cups to be full. So it's going to be really important for you to celebrate how far you've come, to celebrate your successes, to acknowledge them, to take the time to acknowledge them, because you may be a bit disappointed and feel a bit disempowered by the proposal somebody makes around this, or the work that could be involved in something, especially if you don't give yourself time to fill your up. Oh my gosh, wow. Especially if you don't give yourself time to fill up your cup, okay? So let's just get a little bit of advice for you in the month of April, even though I think we already kind of got it there in the reading. Is there any advice for this group in the month of April, please and thank you? Wow. Interesting. Group 1 had similar advice. This is about clarifying your emotional options, listening to your emotions, listening to what your emotions want, getting clear with what they want, not settling for mediocre, hidden things that you're unclear about or confused about, but going for what really feels emotionally strong to you. So maybe something that really supports the way you work instead of trying to fit into something in the way it works, for example. And getting emotionally clear with ourselves means opening a dialogue with ourselves, usually in a journal or in our creativity or with, prayer or speaking to spirit or with a therapist or with a trusted friend. But it is this kind of energy. The other advice, the lovers can be new love, okay? It can be new passion, new love, even with something that you love. And this advice fell out on the ground. And it may be time, even though there may be a resistance to this, or you may not see how it's time because it fell out on the ground, it may be time to come out of your shell a little bit, to be more social, to stop obsessively introspecting on the past and what could have been. It could also be time to take a small separation from a Virgo energy. It's possible, if it resonates. Could also just be like a little time to yourself. Clarify this advice with the lovers, please and thank you. I feel like this could also be kind of taking a moment away from confusing relationships that are energetically confusing. This is an emotional offer here of love, though it could be a bit unstable. Either somebody's making or you are. I don't see a lot of logic in this. I do see something new to learn in this, though. Some kind of higher information coming through about this, okay? So listen to the higher guidance, listen to the downloads, even what you're drawn to learn, read, watch, new informations that you want to digest. Listen to them and the messages in them, because there's something about that there that helps you, okay? This new love could be water energy or fire energy. It's possible. Doesn't have to be. And it could also be new love within an existing relationship, or it could be new love again with your passions, dreams, something that's reignited, okay? I feel like this is a message of leave this energy behind in your past, but let's see why this is coming out as advice, the Seven of Swords. Why is this coming out as advice? Why? Maybe acknowledge and leave behind, because Seven of Swords as advice is a very interesting advice card. Wow. Can that really be the advice? Okay. Follow your intuition always, as you know, when it comes to advice. This is really interesting. This is like, Seven of Swords is like, dishonesty, manipulation, lying, hiding, sneaking. even being out for the self here, being even an energy of betrayal. With the moon, it's very much, it is a water energy, but it's also very much of what's hidden. You could be saying, this could be saying watch out, because this water energy, the Knight of Cups, it's a bit unstable, uncertain, and it's a bit guarded. So this could be not the most honest person. Advice would be to watch out for that, because something here could be unjust or out of balance, and ultimately lead you or reveal that somebody is in a place of being very angry, very frustrated, very overpowering, jealous, even envious. Okay. This could also be that you need to follow your intuition to balance the scales. So even if you do something kind of, this is a weird advice to give, but even if you do something kind of shitty in April, like let's say that you're not honest with somebody or you don't show them everything, something about you doing that, even if you feel like, why did I do that? Or frustrated with yourself for doing that, it's like something about you doing that, it brings something into balance. And it's like, you would be angry anyways, or they may be angry about this. But it's like somebody needs to endure this because they need to kind of like understand. And this is no way to promote like, oh, well, they did this, so I'm going to do this, because that's just a never ending cycle. But it's like if you naturally do something and then later you're like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Like that was so out of character, that was so shitty that I lied, or I was this way. Like, understand that there may be a bigger reason why you did that. That this person needed to experience that from you. Okay? I hope that makes sense. It doesn't mean that we promote that or say it's good, because it's not to pass energy back and forth like this. It's a never-ending cycle in many ways. But it is to say, again, that naturally, something happening naturally, and then you like beating yourself up over it, like, yeah, of course, like, you know, get clear with yourself that it doesn't feel good for you to do that, and probably don't do it again. But also know that there's a reason and a place for everything that happens. In April, we see some indecisiveness or confusion. There is an energy of a little bit of confusion around a decision. Which way do I go? What is the truth here? Where is my heart trying to take me? Whether this is around the opportunity or the offer or this person, you don't have to have it all figured out. It's just super important for you to listen to your heart. Advice, it may be good for you to go with the less confusing one. The one that doesn't make you feel like there's a bunch of conflict and arguments and high energy and restricted action and, you know, confusion about which way to go. And like, this one may be recommended for you to take, because I feel like the one that you take for money or, you know, logical reasons, that is more chaotic. It's going to leave you with a void. You might have what you need, but you're not going to find that happiness or be able to recognize that happiness. If one is more of like a building process, like, you know, it's going to take some steady building and some steady growth, that one's recommended. Okay. You know, the King of Pentacles, like, sometimes I really see him as being a bit blind. Not always, but he doesn't really see. He's really focused on his abundance, and he can be a little bit non-giving and non-generous at times. So I'm definitely seeing some kind of a shift away or a separation from that earthy energy in a way for a minute. And more going into this fire or water energy, but also watching out for that water energy a bit, because there's something a bit guarded here. Try not to overspend in April. Try to watch out for opportunities, people, and things that make you feel like you have to cling to what you know and have, because you're so afraid of... They create an energy of like fear, you know, or limited feeling. Like, some people do this and they don't even mean to do it, but they do it. And it's like, you get done talking to them and you're like, oh wow, how am I ever going to be able to achieve this? Like, this is so much harder than I knew. Like, you know, no. Something here, you know how to do it. You're good at doing it. Trust yourself on that. And also trust your intuition, because it's super strong and on point. You have this handled. So let's just grab an oracle message for you. closing message, please, and thank you. Yes, I saw that as well when we picked the deck up. Yes, just say yes. Nice. To that little passion, to that little flame, to that pull, to that thing. Just say yes. Perfect. All right, you guys, that is what we have for you. A lot of prosperity again in April for you. Whether you can see it or not, it is there, especially near the end, into the 20s especially, okay? So much love. You guys can always email frequencyoftheheart@gmail.com for personal reading inquiries. Until then, take care. Hello and welcome, Stone 3. Thank you so much for being here. So the month of April for you, you could have a lot of spiritual downloads, a lot of information that comes in. You could feel an enhanced or clarified kind of psychic intuition in April. And there's a really strong feeling of power, okay? There's a real power and a kind of an energy of illumination that comes through here. So let's go ahead and look at April for you guys. What is the overall energy in April for group 3, please and thank you. The overall energy in April for group 3. Please and thank you. Nice. Some reprieve, some rest, some escape even with love or things that we love. Could be creativity, could be somebody we love, could be somebody wanting to take care of you or move you somewhere, or you wanting to move them somewhere. But it is a movement mentally towards love, but it can also be a little bit that we are, I feel like there's been a lot of hard journey or reflection or something like this in some way, and it's like we're just surrendering for a minute to the feeling of love mentally and just trying to move through things. This is also like you clinging to your resources, to comfort, clinging to what you have. Maybe not feeling comfortable because there's change on the horizon and a little bit afraid of change. You could also be dealing with somebody like this. Could be an earth sign, earth energy, does not have to be. What else is going on in April for group 3, please and thank you. Okay, we see a halt, a pause with a new beginning or something that doesn't come through. A little bit of a defeated energy. I don't feel like it's a real defeat, but there's like an interpretation of it being a defeat. I like this though because I do feel more peace and more harmony in April for you, especially if you've had a tough journey lately. I do feel that there's a smoothness here, less arguments, less conflict, less confusion. Maybe you even get to take a small trip or a vacation or something like this. What else is going on in April for group 3? Please and thank you. We have moments here. We have moments of feeling emotionally stuck on the past, even angry about it. There's something that we built or have been building with somebody and we're just not happy about it. It could also be that you and somebody you're dealing with both are reflecting on things that are frustrating or that you're not happy with. The star is really nice to see. It's kind of the wish fulfillment energy. It is a dream coming to light. Or being renewed in a sense. It could also be truths coming out, things being illuminated. It could even be these truths that we're still frustrated or fixated on something in the past emotionally and not happy with something that we've been building, or it's not having the kind of outcome or prosperity we hoped for. So by acknowledging this, we could be making room for the importance of our dreams and our wishes, okay? Yeah, there's a focus on the passions over logic as well. I am seeing you more in an emotional and earthy energy than I am in a logical communicatory energy in April with the Queen of Swords in reverse. you could be uncertain how to move ahead and instead more focusing on and dealing with the past. And I feel like you could interpret the present as being bleak at times in April. In the past here, so before April, in the past, whether this was recent or further past, you could have taken a chance. You could have been trying to move through uncertainty, move through the unknown, and gotten your heart broken, or tried to move through the unknown while your heart was already broken in a way. You could have tried to even fight some kind of a separation, a big, tower moment energy, a big rapid change, a breaking apart of something falling apart. And that could be why there's kind of a heaviness or a quietness about this Six of Swords original energy here. Because it's like a lot has happened and now it's like we're just kind of quietly and mellow. I don't know how to explain it. I could feel it and see it, but it's hard to explain it. It's just like a really quiet, like we just are tired, we're exhausted, we just are going to rest and just move over the emotions right now and try to maybe be in a more creative, empathetic energy or something. There is some kind of binding to the devil, addiction, attachment, pattern, even a viewpoint, something that we're keeping ourselves kind of stuck to that could be interfering with feeling in an energy of being lighthearted or feeling in love or feeling like we are in a full circle type of energy and can be youthful and naive again. We could feel unsafe to feel this in a way. We're bound to something from this phase of the journey that keeps us from moving on to the next in a way. And in April, that is something that is becoming more and more clear for you, something that's coming up for you to look at and to see. There's a lot of anger perhaps towards the past or need to control, want to control, maybe towards somebody. Maybe somebody let you down here. You kind of feel like somebody let you down, like you had high hopes or they told you something that they would be and then they weren't. Or things just didn't turn out how you hoped they would, and it's like a real letdown, a sadness or a frustration about that. Yeah, there's something here that hasn't completed, some kind of karma. There could be some jealousy as well, suspicion, anger in this area, but there's something that just hasn't completed itself yet. There's some kind of karma at play. And in April, you could still be dealing with this. And this could especially be around a relationship, okay? I'm really feeling that this could involve a relationship. I mean, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but it does feel some kind of relationship. This King of Swords energy in the past, it could be air energy or just a very logical sign, even earth. This could also be you feeling like you're on top of everything and making everything happen. And now there's more of a chaotic feeling where you feel reduced to like being more angry or feeling angry that you're out of control. So instead of determined, it's like this, or that you're dealing with somebody like this. I feel like you're trying to regain flow and strength in April, but it's challenging at times. Beautiful. Celebrating the wins and successes, celebrating how far you've come, acknowledging it, spending time with good company, okay? Emotionally satiating and filling your cup through good connections, through hard, like really, I don't know why hardworking, but through really strong connections and people is going to bring you a lot of clarity, a lot of happiness, a lot of movement, a lot of joy, just a lot of nourishment, okay? So this is the most important thing in April, really. This is more on the reins of advice here, though I think you'll be doing this. But despite everything that can be confusing about change, a relationship, or even a dream that you've had, truth, this is really vital. And actually, I think group 2 had something similar to that, because this is going to pull you out of a lot of this drudgery, a lot of this lack energy, and it's going to make things feel a lot clearer, okay? So good company, good friends, celebrating the wins, celebrating how far you have come, recognizing things in a more optimistic light will be very important for you this month. Any other advice in April for who we're reading for, please and thank you. Any other advice in April? Yeah, be honest with yourself. Try to be honest with yourself and with others. And try not to entertain or feed into those energy that you just feel are BS, that are lying, that are manipulating, that are just playing games even, that are just not being clear. Try not to play into this in yourself or another. Try not to bite the bait on that, okay? It's okay to be angry or frustrated, to feel out of control, especially about things that are revealed or truths that are said about this clarity, this honesty. It's okay to not be happy all the time. It's okay. It's also okay that you don't always know what your intuition is trying to tell you. But what I see here is that you are trying, and that is one of the most important things that we can do as people, is just try. So any other advice, please and thank you. Really, the biggest advice is about truth and clarity. Get real with your truth, share it with others. 5 and 7 of Swords in reverse. This can be about cutting these energies out entirely or not entertaining these energies in yourself, or both, because these are energies of manipulation, scarcity, and lack, fear. I'm going to win at all costs. It doesn't matter what it takes. Betrayal, as long as I don't get caught, it's fine. People that just, maybe they don't mean it this way, but they just lie and they manipulate and they can't help themselves. But not feeding that energy in yourself is going to help also, to recognize it first off around you, but also to not keep aligning with it as much around you, okay? As hard as that can be at times, that will be important. We also have something about manifestation here, getting in touch with the journey, step-by-step process with the elements, being in the magician energy, and not so much trying to manifest a happy outcome with somebody or this illusion of happiness and constant happiness, but trying to appreciate the steps, the journey, each step along the journey. Trying to master your emotions, especially. Emotions are really sticking out strongly here, okay? Being present. There's a lot about balance here as well, trying to balance our world, whether this means we balance each day with a healthy amount of time, spent on our career and our emotions, or on the outside and the inside, but just balancing these things, okay? Even balancing the sun and the moon here. There are some things that are out of your control. In life, but especially in April. There's only so much that you can do at times. Some things move quicker than you're ready for. Trying to get in touch with how you feel about that, and to also be okay with that. Again, emotional acceptance is very important. At the core of everything, in a way, is accepting what's happening and trying to find peace or some kind of balance in that with our emotional state of being, with how something feels, with the feeling state that we're in. It's often that resistance to it that creates the burden and the hard work and the suffering energy. Something about being in love in the past could have made you feel very disempowered, or turned out to be very disempowering, or some kind of an emotional offer. You could have felt a lack of self-worth around this, or you could have felt, I almost hear, violated about something. There's a real strong advice, though, for you to try your best to acknowledge and let go of old mindsets. You may have been looking at something in one way for a long time, but there's many ways to look at it. For example, you may have taken things personally and looked at them through a fear-based lens. But in the end, it's not personal. People choose to behave how they behave for their own reasons. It's not you that perpetuated that in them. I also feel here like bringing things into clarity with yourself is very empowering for you. Instead of leaving things to chance, there's some hidden angers or jealousies or resentments that are hard. Even some heartbreak that we haven't fully acknowledged. April, it feels like there's a chance for you to acknowledge a lot that has happened and to kind of create reality with it, okay? And how do they create reality with this, with what has happened? Please and thank you. How do they create reality with this? This is really about acknowledging yourself, your heart, heartbreak, disappointment, sadness, acknowledging the truth of something. Your truth of it, not like, well, he didn't really cheat because, you know, it was just that and I shouldn't be this upset over this. But like it hurt and it felt like somebody did betray you and that they did do this. And even if it doesn't fit into some definition, my heart aches and is broken. Maybe I don't even have words for why it aches and feels broken, but it does. Something has really hurt me here. It's triggered my hurt here. And I need to acknowledge this with myself. You know, it's something like this. It's like really seeing that, accepting that as well, accepting that something hurts. It's like it's only in accepting, seeing and accepting that we can really fully start to heal. Because then we know what we're working with, and we've released that energy, you know, but we hold it when we can't acknowledge it, face it, or accept it. And it's really hard sometimes to accept that somebody or something, maybe that we had high hopes for, ended up breaking our heart, even that maybe we did our own selves in some way. But it's really important. So this is a key element to channeling this into your creation of reality. It could even be channeling this heartbreak, this rage, even into something that you're doing, creating, working on, you know, into your manifestation. Why is this here and what does it mean? Why is this here and what does it mean? Please and thank you. Why is this here and what does it mean? Some of you could be unknowingly manifesting a union between you and a very logical energy, air, maybe Earth, maybe Scorpio, Aries. Sorry if I just bumped this. But either way, I feel like you're unifying parts of yourself as well, which is really strong. Bringing yourself out of depression, defeat, sadness, despair. Four of Wands is like contracts, commitments, marriage, unification over a distance. There's a lot of happiness there. It could even be within yourself. Something has been a lot of hard work. It's been a burden. The Ten of Wands. Wanting a fresh start, wanting a new thing, even thinking that you'd have to take a new thing or a fresh start here. But there's somebody or something that you don't have to move on from in the way you think you do. This is going to surprise you in April or shortly after. You are going to get clarity on something, and you are going to have the choice to decide if you want to unify or not with something or someone. Not all hope is lost. There's something that can be built here. There is something that goes back and forth between, it's unstable. It could be a relationship to something or someone. But it's like once you acknowledge this, it may provide a way to move forwards from this. It just depends on what you want. And it may be with somebody you've already met, or it may be with this person. Because what I see here is you're not taking a new start. You're choosing to do the hard work to manifest something. Yeah, this is some kind of a move or movement. And this is earth over water in some way. But you're choosing to move forwards in a sense. To try to find balance, to rebalance the scales, and to make movement ahead and forwards. I don't think you're accepting a new emotional offer or making a new emotional offer. This feels like somebody you already know or something you're already connected to. A dream, a person, a concept, an idea, whatever. It's going to become very clear to you in April or very shortly after what choice to make. What you want. What you need to do. Because even if we're heartbroken, disappointed, hurt from the past or this present dynamic, sometimes our emotions need to finish something. And earlier we saw that something wasn't finished. There was still karmatic elements and unfinished business in the situation. So somehow you're choosing to see something through or to explore something that's already present, it would seem. And that becomes very clear to you that that is the right choice to make for you. This is a very strengthening process because you're learning how to move through things in a way and not necessarily run from them. It's very strong. Hermit in reverse. You could be really trying to avoid losing a Virgo energy. Why was that hiding under the Magician? Why was the Hermit hiding under the Magician? Because in the past, things were hidden about this person. And you don't want that to be the case. You want a different reality in a way. You want a healthy emotional dynamic here. You want this generous, mature, emotionally mature person that you thought was present in some way or thing. If it's not a person, it could really still be a dream or a goal or a career aspect. You've wisened up. And you're not ready to start new. You want to see something through. I really see that in the end of this journey, it'll be different for everyone, but you may find that the person you want this person to be or the thing you want this thing to be, you can't change it. But when you're manifesting that, there will be another energy that comes in that is aligned to what it is you want and are manifesting. And it may start with you and then manifest outside of you. So like you may first start to feel in this energy and then you find this energy outside. It could be a water sign. But there's a maturing process that goes on. This person's very generous, very stable. And I feel like in the future, your heart is going to be a lot more aligned. The future's open, okay? This isn't like it has to be this way. But it's just to say, I think in the future, your heart's going to feel a lot more aligned to a very emotional, empathetic energy, more than a very logical, rigid, or earth-structured energy, okay? Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, but especially Scorpio. And some Pisces there. Could be even Venus placement. This can also talk about your dreams. You're going to choose your emotional well-being and stability and security over the financial one. So that's going to win out for you in the future, okay? All right, you guys, that's what we have for you. I hope it made sense. Month of April overview, general. There'll be a lot more details and things that happen, but it's an idea. I feel like some of your reading felt a little negative in a way, or a little intense, but please rest assured you had some really intensely positive cards in this reading. Like the sun came out so many times. So no matter what's going on, there's a lot of truth that's going to be revealed, and this kind of truth that comes, it's the kind that creates a real sense of relief, of like, of now I can move forwards from here. Like it gives you a handle on things. It could really help you to feel a lot more empowered than you've been feeling. And even if there's like intense stuff going on, it's really based on how you feel inside and what's going on with you inside, you know, and there's a lot of good stuff happening there. So please know that April overall is a pretty positive month as we feel it. Even if it didn't seem that way at first, it really, really is. And I think it will be better than we let on here, or than you think it will be. If you're thinking that it's like, you're like, oh, worried about it, don't be worried about it, because there's so much good stuff that comes through this month for you, okay? And a lot of clarity, which clarity is like when you haven't had clarity in a long time and then you get it, it's a relief, right? So remember, you can always email frequencyoftheheart@gmail.com for personal reading inquiries. But until then, we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Hello and welcome, Group 4. Hope you guys are doing well and in high spirits. Thanks so much for being here. So the month of April for you, there could be a focus on your throat chakra, especially maybe your voice, or your the way you're speaking or singing even, or creating sound is really powerful or potent or strong or charismatic or attractive, or it pulls people in, or you feel really clear about what you're saying. Maybe you even appreciate the sound of your own voice or something like this. Okay, this can be a part of April for some of you. This is also kyanite, so this is a stone that aligns all the chakras. It's also a stone that never needs to be cleaned or cleansed. So there could really be a focus on alignment for you in April of your energy centers, of your chakra centers. You may literally appreciate the stone kyanite to help you align, but this is also the color blue. So this is the communication and throat chakra that's in focus here, as well as our emotions as well. I see a lot of air energy present here. So yeah, communication, Gemini, Aquarius, especially a bit of Libra, because Libra is air. But yeah, okay, let's go ahead and see what's going on in April for you guys. This is overall energy. Group 4. What's going on in April for Group 4? Please and thank you. Some of you could be moving on from things that are heavy burden, heavy work, taxing, that are just a lot to do, or you could be relieving yourself by getting these burdens out of the way, these things done with, these lists done with, because I think you're just ready to move on and to look towards the options and to pursue things that make you happy, that you like to do, that you really love to do, okay? You could be spending more time, condensing your time into like exploring your options of the happiness and of what you really appreciate, instead of spending so much energy and time on the burdens or the have-tos or the hard work, okay? What's going on in April for Group 4? You may be not spending a lot, clinging to comforts here. Something may move fast for you, or you may not be getting an offer in that you wanted to get in. If that's the case, if you're not getting an offer in that you wanted to get in, especially around money or career, or from an earth sign, then know that this offer would have been so slow to climb anyways, that there's a reason that it's not coming through. There was also something a bit guarded or gatekeeping about this energy. It could also just be on pause for now, because it's like you have things that you need to spend time doing first, okay? You could feel a little uncomfortable with the prospect of change, or an in-between energy, maybe in between jobs, or in between, like maybe you're doing this paycheck to paycheck thing, or you're holding on to what you have because you're afraid there won't be any more. There's a little bit of a lack mindset going on around our pentacles, around our resources, anything in the physical, whether this is our health, our home, our career, our money, our job, our relationship, any physical things like this, okay? Okay, this is interesting too, because we could be, because of lack of some kind or because of clinging. We could be like, let's say there's a habit, a dependency, an attachment that you have, okay, an addiction even. Maybe you're trying to spend less on this, less time, less money, less attention, less energy on it because you don't have a lot of resources, okay? That's one way to read this. In a way, not having a lot of resources is something your soul makes for you during this time so that you can try to let something go, because if you don't even have the money to get it, how are you going to get it, you know? In another way, this can be about a relationship or something you're connected to. Whoa, I just thought I saw a bug on my hand, but I didn't. So this could be like a relationship or something that you're connected to, a thing that it's like, you know, a part of you wants freedom from this, or just in general, freedom wants to be had from this thing, but you're clinging to it, you're holding to it because it's comfortable, because it's what you know, because you're afraid to let it go in some way. What else is going on in April for group 4? Okay, so the time of waiting for movement and receiving and transmuting emotions, this is very connected to spirit, on spirit's clock, on spirit's time, and it's very connected to the rate at which you are letting go of the devil energy. Okay, we could be dealing with Capricorn as well. There's an uncertainty about when things will move and how, and it's very much tied to when and how this relationship or connection moves. This could also be to your job or to some kind of a career or something, okay? What else is going on in April for group 4, please and thank you? Okay, so you are going to make movement this month. I think this might be a little bit like maybe the second, third week or something, because this is like you finding the middle road in a way, or finding balance between these wavering back and forth and just going forwards anyways with your dreams in mind, especially because we got that Aquarius energy, Cancer energy here, but very much like going towards what you're dreaming, what your clarity is, what your happiness is, okay? Moving towards like passions, even passion projects, or things that you maybe never thought that you could do or accomplish. I feel like you are not making a solid like yes or no. You're like, I'm going to make my own path. I'm going to move forwards this way because this is what feels right for me. And I'm going to just, there's a determination to this, but also a real flow with this, okay? I'm really loving this energy. You could even be choosing to stand in like your higher self really strongly. And I'm feeling a really big shift from like 4 of Pentacles into the Chariot here. It's also an energy of victory. So you could have a lot of victory and success around something that you've wanted to have victory and success around for a while. Yeah, there's a really strong breakthrough energy here of coming out of depression, coming out of limitation emotionally and in your movement and your passions. You're coming out of this into something more expansive, something more happy, more clear. Things are sorted out. There's less confusion and arguments. So whether it's because you broke free of something or because you simply just said F it and made your own path altogether, this is such a strong breakthrough energy from something that could have been really weighing you down, weighing heavy, or just feeling really restricted and conflicted and sad. That's super awesome, you guys. This might be my favorite April reading yet. And that would make sense why you've got the kyanite as well, the balance, the alignment energy. Ooh, 5 of Swords in reverse. Also a great energy. You've got 5 of Cups, 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords in reverse. For me as a reader, 5 is a number of either limitation and lack or abundance and expansion and growth, but it depends on how we read it. With all of these 5s in reverse and the correlations to them, this is like you are expanding in every area, whether this is the company around you, what's inside of you, or all of the above. Oh, I'm out of breath. Remember to breathe. This is really, really strong. This is also like energies of I'm going to win at all cost, or I feel in this lack feeling, so I'm just going to be manipulative and betray you because I just need to win. Like, nah, we cut that out. We cut out this argument, confusion, where we want to go. Like, this is super strong. Y'all, I'm going to turn this on. Sorry, I think I just put my boob in the shot there, but here we go. Okay, lamps on because the storm is really dark. This is so awesome. So all of the 5s in reverse, huge month of expansion for you. Huge. huge. This is beautiful. Could be expansion around the home and career as well, but I think in like every area. Nice. The Emperor. So you could be divorcing, getting rid of, moving away from a very overruling, in control energy, whether this is a boss, a father figure, a significant other, or maybe some part of you that feels like I need to be in control and ruling this. Like, I feel like you are moving on from this in the month of April, or at least putting it on pause. Instead, you're having hard conversations. You're choosing to communicate. You're choosing a different mindset. You're choosing to shift your mindset. Maybe you're reprogramming your mind. Maybe you're working on feeling more empowered, because you understand that equipping yourself with empowerment and equipping yourself with tapping in and tuning into your own strengths and your own power is one of the root and key things for success in all areas of your life. It's you connecting with you, essentially, with your dreams and passions, your heart, your goals, your stronger mindsets, and even just letting go and relinquishing control in a way, but understanding that you can control, in a sense, or guide your emotions, the way that they move, feel, okay? What else is going on in April for group 4? Please and thank you. There's a lot of energy in this reading. You guys could have a lot of energy in April at times, like bursts of really clear energy or something. I feel really inspired by your energy, okay? Oh, this is so nice. So you could be coming in contact with a water energy, or somebody who's very emotionally mature, generous, stable, successful. This could also be you, okay? You could be coming into this energy. You could be a little worried about the realness of it, but it's very real. Rest assured, it's very real. There is some kind of a new offer when it comes to career and money here, or a relationship or something, but I do feel it's more based on the earth energies, which would be career and money. There is clarity as well with what to do around this. King of Pentacles in reverse, you could be separating from that earth sign, or you could be separating from your pursuit of money. This could feel really out of flow for you to pursue money. This could feel very out of balance for you. You could be really meditating or reflecting inside as well, or thinking about a water energy. And I feel like you're done waiting on some kind of passion, or on something at a distance, or on something that you thought you could gain power with outside of yourself. And you're going and turning into this love and this Empress energy of like compassion and of expansion and of filling your cup everywhere that you can. Building methodically, step by step on something that you love to build. Okay, this can involve, I see a lot of blue for you, blue. It's a lot of water, air, communication, energy. Even though I'm not seeing a lot of air signs, though there could be with the Ace of Swords here. I just see a lot of, even building from place of power with your communication and emotions. This could bring a lot of stability in for you as well. Anything else going on in April for group 4? Please and thank you. I hear hold your horses, like somebody's grandma or grandparents, like hold your horses. We're not done yet. Or maybe somebody is saying that here. Hold your horses, we're not done yet. Not done with what? Not done talking. We're not done talking this out, talking this over. And you're like, but I'm done. They're like, but I'm not. They're like, you've already said your piece, but I haven't. And you're like, but I haven't either. There's like an energy of like you walking out on something or giving up on something, and somebody's like, no. And you're like, yes. 4 of Wands in reverse here. This is a union, a contract, a commitment, a marriage coming together. You may not want to receive somebody's communication. You don't want to receive something from someone here. You're like, no, I don't want to receive this right now. I'm in my Empress energy. I'm going to start building. I'm going to focus on me. I'm done trying to get this out of you or trying to be whatever, like, or making myself less to receive this, or I don't know. There's something here that's like, no, I'm done. Interesting. Maybe you just decide to stop emotionally opening up to somebody and consider your options of happiness instead in April. You're done with sloppy energies that are just making half-assed attempts. You're like, nah, I can work with better here. And it's not even about better or worse, but it's like you start to feel more empowered to recognize something in a way. And to recognize especially that maybe you don't owe anything here, you know? So let's see what the advice is for you in April. Spirit, what advice do you have for who's watching? Please and thank you. I always see smiley faces, like my whole life. Like I remember first seeing them when I was younger, like, I don't know, either a teenager, but I think before that even, maybe double digits, but maybe even earlier. But I would see them when I was going through really hard times, especially. But now I see them a lot these days. And I see one right now on the roof. A smiley face with a nose and everything, made out of twigs and acorns in your reading. So I thought to share that. It's a nice little reminder that I feel like every time I see that, it's like a reminder that, like, to smile and that it's all good, you know, like things are happening how they're supposed to happen. Remember to make light of things sometimes, to smile. Remember to still bring yourself out of the things that we get caught into. Whoa, did I shuffle really weird this whole time? I did, didn't I? Why are all those cards faced up? I wasn't looking at what I was doing. Okay. So what is the advice for group 4? Please and thank you in April. You don't need to force clarity or have it all figured out on how to move ahead. Not in a logical way or a planned way. You don't need to focus in on this energy in April. Dealing with the past could be a focus, which it did seem that way. Like this is stuff that's been a part of the past and now the present. Dealing with that could be more in focus. And strength is a lot about balance. It's about flow. You know, it is a card of yin and yang and trying to find the balance point of two parts of ourself in a way and trying to find some renewal with that. It's also the card of Leo, which is ruled by the sun. So this could also be about recognizing those things inside of yourself and just gently, lovingly kind of dealing with them. These things that are in a more animalistic way. It's like the language between the higher self and the animal self in a way. But it's in a gentle way, essentially. Acknowledge that you are emotionally complete. You are not actually dependent on anybody emotionally. You will be fine without something or someone emotionally. Yes, we do need people in life. It's not to say you can do everything on your own, but in April there's a focus on understanding that you are a lot better off emotionally than you realize. There's happiness and stability here in your emotions, and your mentality is quite communicative and clear. Expand your finances, expand your world, but without focusing entirely on it. Come out of like victim energy, if I was left out in the cold energy, and try to empower your state of being and your strength and your emotions the best you can, okay? Try to take action on what is clear in a way that you really feel it. How to explain this? How do we explain these two, please? I feel like I don't know the words for this yet, so let's see if we can get a little more. How to explain this advice to them? Okay. This is like, don't keep yourself. In April, you have a chance to unbind yourself from something. And this may not look the way you think. It may not be a full breakup or a full quit my job or ending. But it may just be freeing yourself from something in a way that you know, like maybe you know you need to stop eating or drinking something, and that this will actually reflect in everything in your life. So you do. And this is like, stop fighting ahead through confusion and fighting all of this lack of clarity and confusion and this frustration. Just stop fighting for this illusion in a way, this outcome. Let it go. Free yourself from something here, because this is going to be extremely expansive. And there is an offer that is here as well. Why is this here as advice? Please and thank you. Implement your boundaries as well. And don't worry about being something for somebody else right now. Allow yourself to feel joy. Literally get out in the sun if you can, but allow yourself to feel joy and renewal and the freedom of releasing yourself from these heavy things that bind you. Like, really jump on this train, jump on this inspiration. Sometimes we get really inspired to do something and then we just don't do it. And it's like, do it this time, do it, okay? Just do it, because you can do it. In the past here, you were building something in your career, business, workplace, with somebody, with an earth sign, something like this. But I feel like this is kind of the feeling of, yeah, this doesn't have to die. It doesn't even have to end. But we want to shift the way that we're building and what we're focusing on. Although you may want it to end. We want to shift into a happier space. Something that promotes more happiness rather than this kind of down and out energy, this depressed energy. Because something here is really distracting you from your dreams, your goals, your wishes. And even from new love or a new opportunity with something. Come out of hiding. Come out of your alone time. And try to come into this space of movement, even achievement. Bringing stuff out of the depths of you. Focusing more on yourself rather than another as well could be important this month. And freeing yourself from the pursuit of something around money and resources, like solely the pursuit of this, or from this earth energy. Even if somebody seems all great, if they don't feel great, there's a reason. I also feel like this is stop fighting the flow. Make movement into balance. You may be called to move somewhere, to move jobs, to move home, to move location, to move towards another relationship. Something doesn't have to be completed here. I keep seeing that. You've got Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the World in reverse, Death in reverse. It's like saying that you don't have to like lose something. There's another mindset available to you where it's like you can actually approach something differently. Because something isn't over here. But there's something more. There's a better potential here. There's something about the way that this can evolve that is bigger. It's more satisfactory. And it's like what we said. It's like, okay, maybe I don't have to make a choice right now or to change my whole life and break up with somebody and quit my job. Like, maybe actually I can just stop drinking coffee and meditate 5 minutes a day. And this physical routine that I incorporate, and I give up this thing that I feel totally addicted to, like coffee or a stimulant or something, and I replace it with something that I know is super good for me, like meditation, just as a very loose example. And you start to see your whole life and clarity of thought and perspective and body rhythm and fatigue like shift around. You start to have more energy after a couple of weeks. You start to feel clearer. You start to have more positive perspectives. You're not so high and low. You're more stable and steady. You don't feel dependent on this thing. You have more money because you're not spending a bunch of money on coffee and things. You are feeling like you're more emotionally patient and stable and not so irritable in your relationship. Like, your productivity is gone higher up because you have more sustained energy and you're not crashing all the time, and you're staying more focused because you're not super hyped up and distracted and like just drinking more coffee and more stimulants to try to get yourself more woke up. You know, it's like this. It's like you find another way through something, but your intuition already knows what this is. You've probably already known for a minute. And it's something more probably to do with you and your own alignment, your own balance here, than it is with external things. It's like, it's not about like cutting the external things out all the time, even though some of you may need to do that. But it's like, you don't have to end something here. You don't have to like say, you may just want to shift something with the devil energy in reverse. And for some of you, this is a toxic job. It's a toxic boss. So yeah, it is about like quitting your job, or if it's not quitting it, it's like literally like speaking like a really hard truth and being like, yo, like this is not working for me. This is not right. This is my letter to management. This is what I want. I am a valued employee here. Like, either make my job better here or I'm out, you know, like it could also be another, like, here's my offer, you know, here's what I am saying, do this or I'm out. You know, it's like something like this. It's like you find, that's that chariot energy. It's like you find a road that is not polarized or in a lack energy. You find something that really works for you. And it doesn't mean it's perfect, you know, it doesn't mean that it ends up working, but you give it that try. And this gets a lot of things in motion. This makes a lot of things start working. I could resonate maybe with this reading a bit. Like, I know, for example, that I need to cut out sugar, like chocolate, for me, and like added sugar. This is something I know that I want to cut out. Like, I usually cut it out for like a month each year or something. I want to cut it out for like a year. And I know I want to do that. And I keep waiting on like the full, like, okay, I'm going to do it this time. But like, I really know that this is going to make a difference in my life and in my reality, in my world. You know, it's like I need to get to that point, which is what this group is at, that point where I have the inspiration and I act on it and I commit to it. You know, you ride the wave. It's kind of like a surfer. It's like you can't always force when the wave comes. You know, you got to kind of wait for the wave. But when it comes, you get up on that wave and you freaking ride it. So when that wave comes, riding it. And also, as a female, if you are a female watching this who menstruates, a lot of times it is, I've heard this and I felt this as well, so I feel like this is accurate information. It's easier to quit something or release something or let go of something or stop a habit or to change something when we are on our period or just after it, you know, when we're just on our bleeding cycle or just after. So this is also a good time, you know, and also full moons are a time of release. New moons are a time of manifestation and turning a new page. So these are also natural turning points. And I think we also have a huge conjunction coming up in April. So just throwing that out there for you guys. Not everything is, you know, it's not black and white. There's always a way, but may you follow your heart. So you can always email FrequencyOfTheHeart@gmail.com for personal reading inquiries. But until then, we send you guys lots of love. Take care. Hello and welcome, group 5, the final group. Hope you guys are doing well and in high spirits. So here is April. You guys chose, I think it's bismuth is what it's called. This is a very strong stone for communication from the other side. This enhances communication. It's even kind of got a galactic energy. It is technically man-made in a way, but it's something that is, you know, maybe through, some of you could be like paranormal investigators or be connected to the paranormal or mediumship or something like this and be able to bring this energy in more strongly through tech sources or through things. You might even benefit from this if you're doing that kind of work, if you want to enhance the spirit messages or guidance that comes in. This could also be indicative of pyramids here because it is shaped this way, connections to our ancestors in ancient Egypt, things like this, or the desert, which could also indicate endings, west, completions, finishes. Okay, so let's go ahead and look and see what's going on for you in April, overall energy for group 5. Please and thank you. You could find your consciousness expanding. Again, the connection that you have with the other side, with the divine, with communication expanding. what's going on in April for group 5? Overall energy in April for group 5, please. Interesting. We could be shifting a perspective around here. We could be choosing a happier and easier path rather than a harder one, or just a different path than we've been on before, especially with our perspective or mentality. Again, expansion. There's some kind of expansion around our perspectives here, around the mind that I feel, okay? Try to straighten this out, but I have a hard time to get it straight. Okay. I really like to see Queen of Wands. She's in a very action-based or action-oriented position. She's working with spirit here, or with a familiar who is helping to soak up negative energy around her, helping to provide guidance and protection. She's got a very stable foundation beneath her, and she's really focused on her happiness, on her health, on her well-being, on her, there's a focus on the physical as well, like the physical health, and just moving forward. She's present, but she also is moving forwards towards her happiness, and she feels like she has a stable foundation to do that. Again, we see pyramids here, desert energy, so she's moving on from endings perhaps, and maybe even learning how to take the benefits or the strong parts with her. She's a fire energy as well. Also, this could be about things that have been unfair, out of balance, judgmental. Libra energy here as well. Parents, this could be something where somebody was selective or something like this. You could be choosing simply not to communicate with somebody this way, and just to move on from this energy and to just focus on yourself in April, okay? This is very possible. So what else is going on overall energy in April for the person we're reading for? Please and thank you, Spirit, for who is here. Strength. A lot of groups had strength. A lot of Leo and fire energy here. Leo's also a regal energy. It's also being recognized. So you could be tapping into your regality, into your past lives, into your, ancient wisdom, even status, soul status in a sense, if there is such a thing. But this is you coming into more harmony, balance, and flow. You could be holding your tongue, even holding your animal instincts down in a way in April, to like lash out at somebody or be angry at them. You could just be like, hey, it's not worth it. Maybe in the past you did this and you just weren't happy with it. I do feel like you're ready to move on and up from what's not working, from what you've worked on, and it's just like messy and it's not having the happiness, fulfillment, or payout that you want with the Seven of Pentacles here. Maybe it's unclear what's going on with it. It's just more work than it's worth in a way. So I feel like you're going to really just choose to go into Queen of Wands energy and move on and up and out of this, okay? I don't think you're going to stick with this. What else is going on here in April for this group, please and thank you? Interesting. In the past, there could have been a very unstable or guarded emotional offer that you made or somebody else made here. Maybe there was a real chemistry or passion. It's like you're choosing not to, I feel like you're not choosing to take any beginnings, communications, or acting on passion that involves another. I feel like you're choosing to focus more on your own self and happiness. Yeah, maybe this brings too much burden, too much hard work in a way. And I feel like you're in a more of a place where you want to spend time with good friends, maybe not do the sticky like relationship stuff right now or deal with it as much right now. Maybe wanting to celebrate the successes. And there's again that Leo energy with the purple really strongly, that regal energy as well. I feel like you're feeling yourself in April. I want to say I feel like you're, no matter what's going on, despite anybody, it's like you're feeling yourself in April, okay? No matter what's happened here. You're handling something very well as well. So there was something very out of balance here, sneaky, manipulative, made everything super confusing and unclear. Whatever this is, this energy is dissipating, it's leaving, it's being left in the past, it's moving on. You're moving on from it rather, or it's just phasing out. We're also like rejecting, saying no to half-assed energy, stuff that's just coming in and just like not really that well thought out or careful. And we're allowing ourselves in a way to accept and surrender to defeat of these energies. I feel like you've made a massive grow up here, or glow up, and you're really wary of all this energy. This could also be somebody who comes in or is present now who's very emotionally mature, very generous, very stable, and they're like, whoa, like these energies that you have been dealing with, these people, this stuff, like this, are you serious? This is intense. Like they're worried for you in a way. And they're like, yeah, this is definitely intense. And you're like, yeah, it is, isn't it? And in a way, it helps you to find closure. Ten of Swords is an intense card. It's a heavy card. I mean, it's feeling defeated. It's feeling, you know, backstabbed. It's feeling betrayed. It's feeling like we failed at something in a way. It's a really hard ending, okay? Why is this hard ending present? But I feel overall like you're in a very positive place handling this. So maybe this is something that it's more just like you're admitting that this energy has been here, and it actually gives you a relief to admit it so that you can move on from it. Because there's something that is a little unclear here for you, a decision in April, but it's like you're deciding to move forwards towards your dreams and passions right down the smack dab center. It's interesting, the group before you had a kind of a similar message. In that way with the Chariot, but this is like victory. You have victory in making the right choice for you in something, and part of this right choice may be that you don't accept an offer, that you don't accept what is being given to you, that you decide, no, I'm going to again invest in myself. I'm not going to take this on. I'm not going to open myself up to this right now, or leave myself susceptible to this. This is done and over right now for me. You know, it doesn't bring me happiness anyways, or it's not really promoting my well-being anyways. It's not fair. It's not clear. I don't want to deal with this right now. I'm just, there's something more here. You know, there's something more here is what it feels. Anything else for group 5? Nice. Same. Coming into a more expansive place mentally, moving away from energies that have betrayed us, been hot-headed, just been manipulative and kind of icky. Like we're moving away from this. We're moving away from stuff that gives us trust issues and makes us feel like have to be guarded and suspicious, or that it is of us not trusting and guarded and suspicious. We're moving away from this. That's very positive. And how are we moving away from it? We're investing in ourselves. Hanged Man is like keeping yourself in waiting. And with the 10 of Pentacles, you're waiting for that one, or for that energy of like, this is going to be the happily ever after. I'm going to make a happy family with this. I'm going to find stability and security and a family and a life. Yeah, you're waiting. You're waiting for when you're going to open yourself up to receiving this from somebody that is more matched. Maybe you're going to first go on a journey for yourself, a journey where you just are picking yourself up and focusing on what makes you happy, how you do things, and you're just waiting to join with somebody that is, or something even, that you decide is going to be your real long-term thing here. You're waiting on that. You're not going to buy into that this month. You're just like, nah. You're really done with the bullshit. You're done with these energies that are out of balance and selective and narcissistic or controlling, or like playing these kind of games. Like you're done with it. And somebody could really be helping you to see that and encourage you. But it could also be your own emotional maturity that's coming through. That's just like, okay, no, this is what we need to do for ourselves. This is how we need to have boundaries. I think your friends and good company, celebrating your wins helps you as well. And just making your own path, being your own leader in a way, getting clear with yourself as well. I think emotional clarity is such a big focus for everybody right now. It's definitely been in focus for a while in our readings, and I know things kind of go in phases, but emotional clarity is just, it's a big one, you know. So I don't think you're going to mess around, you know, communicating or trying to work out perspectives with this same old stuff. It never works. You know, I really see you in the Queen of Wands energy, and she's really a badass. So let's go ahead and see if there's any advice for you guys in April. Any advice for group 5 in April, please and thank you, Spirit. I don't know why I just heard Tesseract. Any advice for group 5 in April, please and thank you, Spirit. Yeah, to do what you're doing, basically. But Chariot, victory, success, movement, even movement led by spirit, movement where you can't see, movement towards your dreams, illuminate, movement towards what makes you happy. Acknowledge that happiness is all around you, though you don't have to go, strive towards it. But it's like making that movement with your dreams here, with what you love. It's a real balance to this as well. And there's a real faith to this, trusting your guidance. And it is about moving. There is something about making movement here. It's not so much about rest in April as it is movement. Even if this is physical movement, that is like a message to our subconscious that we're ready to move in a way. This fell out like on my lap basically, or in the chair. So it's kind of like saying you can wait to receive something if you want a gift, love. But I think it's also like something is just falling right into your lap, like a gift or of love or some kind of generosity. It's like so easily falling into your lap. Okay, why? What do you have to say about Six of Cups as advice? Please and thank you. Could also be about not letting anger stop you from being generous or giving when it feels right to you to do so, and easy even. And it could be about not walking away from a gift that's offered to you, or an emotional offer in a way. Why is the King of Wands here? This could be from a fire energy, or this could be you in a more angry energy. Angry about the past, even resentful, and that could be why you're like not sure about accepting this. But this is saying by holding on to some kind of resentment or anger in the past, you're actually holding yourself back from pursuing a passion or something that you love. You're actually keeping yourself in waiting. And you're keeping yourself in conflict at times too. The advice is to build, to steadily build your communication, your power, your stability, your world, your life, your career, to steadily work on it and build, just like the Queen of Wands energy. You're moving into a much more reliable and even relaxed energy, but that's very, I don't know why I hear fervent, but is very strong, it's very capable. And you don't have to do anything to receive this. There's no like strings attached, no leverage. This is a transmutation of energy already owed to you in a way. You don't have to act on anything before you're ready either, though. Everything is in divine timing. You may want to take a pause or a break from the King of Pentacles energy, Father energy, Boss energy, Earth sign, or trying to pursue a certain position of leadership or financial stability, because something about this could be a bit out of balance and unfair and perpetuate the very thing that you're ignoring or trying to move on and up from. Move away from things that make you suspicious and uncertain. Don't accept opportunities that you don't want to, that feel blurry or uncertain as well. Keep working on and focusing on what you're building, because it's really strong. It's stronger than you realize, I think. There's a lot of confusion, indecisiveness, uncertainty. And it's like saying you don't have to have logical clarity on this. Some of this is all on the universe's clock. Divine timing, universe's clock. It will complete when it's ready. The best you can do is utilize this wave to build, to make movement in the ways that feel right to you, and accept if there's an offer given to you that feels right for you to accept. If it falls right into your lap, don't let resentment, anger about the past make you stop to accept it, especially if it's a no strings attached gift, because this may be able to help you quite a bit, okay? But only if you want to. You don't have to do what you're uncomfortable with. But yeah, this could help you set down some burden of like, I have to do this all on my own. I have to beat resistance. I have to go against this. I have to push, 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 push. This is some kind of an offer that could help you. Yeah, this may help things be clearer so you can move on from being in your head or having nightmares. And it may even help to bring things into balance and truths to light. This may help you financially for some reason. There's a lot of fast-moving clarity and happiness that can come in for you this month. And when we say happiness, we talk more about like wholeness, relief, freedom, understanding, clarity, renewal, you know, because happiness, it's not like a state of constant ecstasy. It's more of a feeling of being whole. It's more being aligned with our soul in a way. Don't spend too much this month, or don't count your, count your chickens before they've hatched or something. Like, don't, like, oh, I'm gonna have that or this so I can do this. Like, try not to do that this month, okay? Also, you might want to wait on moving to another house or home if that is applicable for you. I mean, if you're already in motion, that's different, but you might want to wait on trying to figure that out this month. The movement that they're encouraging you to make, it's more whatever is aligned with your dreams, your visions, your goals and passions, okay? Any last word of advice? Anything we missed? Please and thank you. What does this mean? Something isn't finished. Karma still has to complete itself here. In a love situation. Nothing is certain about this love situation, so try to go with the flow because you never know what will be. The best thing you can do is get into your Empress energy, your Queen of Wands energy as well. To speak, move, exist with compassion, with wealth of hearts, mind, body, spirit, and not to limit yourself, but to empower yourself. Move away from things that make you fixate on anger and emotional fixation on the past that makes you angry and just distracted. Move away from that. Restore balance. Acknowledge if you never were understood emotionally or got that emotional release that you wanted with an earth energy or with money or career. Acknowledge it and move on from it because there's something better. Okay, I hope that makes sense, you guys. We send you lots of love. You can always email frequencyoftheheart@gmail.com for personal reading inquiries. But until then, y'all take care and have a great April. Bye-bye.